The backyard brawl between West Virginia and the Pittsburgh Panthers should be played on Rivalry Week every single season. It's a no-brainer and it needs to happen. In this episode, I'm going to lay out the reasons why. So this week, former West Virginia Mountaineer standout and current Pittsburgh Steeler Beanie Bishop made headlines when, during OTAs, he took his feet and he dragged them across the Pitt Panther logo, causing a lot of controversy among the internet. If you haven't seen the clip yet, check it out now. So Beanie Bishop only played for the Mountaineers for one season, but obviously he feels some type of way towards Pittsburgh, which is kind of what college sports is all about. Rivalries exist, and it's what makes the sport great. So I kind of appreciate him making the rivalry in the spotlight a little bit. It's going to be absolutely crazy what's going to happen over the next few months leading up to this game because it's Rich Rod's first game against them in a long time. So it's going to be really, really entertaining to see how this builds up before 9/13. Beanie Bishop also was interviewed by local Pittsburgh media this week. Listen to what he has to say about the rivalry. He has some really good ideas and makes some really good points.
Brawl. This could potentially be the last one for a bit because they're saying they got to redo the rights. Is the backyard brawl something that should be every single year?
Yeah, for sure. Just like every other rivalry, you know what I mean? Like, it's hatred. You know, you don't have no respect for those guys. And I really don't even like seeing their coaches and players out here watching us practice, you know. But, yeah, you know, I'm kind of outnumbered. But I just, you know, and I don't think it should be week 2, week 3. I think it should be part of rivalry week. They should move it towards the end of the season like everybody else. You know, Ohio State and Michigan, you know, they play at the end of the year.
Yeah.
You know, all of the rivalry games is at the end of the year, so why not make ours at the end of the year instead of at the beginning of the season?
So I have to agree with Beanie Bishop. This game every year should be played on Rivalry Week every single year. When I think of Pitt, West Virginia football, I think of obviously the backyard brawl, but I think of cold weather and just a game that is huge at the end of the season. It goes along with the Iron Bowl. It goes along with the game between Michigan and Ohio State, Texas and Texas A&M, and you could easily do it. Other conferences are doing it where an SEC team will take on an ACC team during that week. Look at Florida versus Florida State. Look at Georgia versus Georgia Tech. West Virginia versus Pitt needs to be moved to this weekend in the future. Also, it's a nice carrot at the end of the season for these teams to have when they struggle. So say West Virginia last year didn't have the season that they wanted to have, barely made a bowl game, but still made one after going 6-6. If you have that game at the end of the season, everyone's going to be looking forward to that game versus Pitt at the end of the season. So even if you have a rough season, if you win that game, it could be considered a successful season. Whereas last year, you lost to Pittsburgh in week 3, and since you lost to week 3, fan interest kind of went right out the window. I don't think Mountaineer fans are getting excited to play against, no offense to Kansas State or Iowa State, because it's just not a natural regional rivalry. Regional rivalries is what the sport was built on. So if the people in charge can get that game back to Thanksgiving weekend, it would help immensely for the sport. It would help both brands of Pittsburgh and West Virginia.